This is your advanced back and shoulder stretches. So again, please make sure that you have and you are comfortable with all the beginners and intermediate moves first, because those are going to be pretty advanced moves. So also to make sure, because we approach poses that we've kind of worked on in the beginner intermediate versions, and now we're able to step it up a little bit. So the first pose is going to be your advanced puppy pose. So some of us will not be able to just touch the chest quite yet, because personally right now, at the time I'm doing this video, I haven't actually trained myself. I'm also traveling, so I'm not like feeling like the most flexible person, but that's not an issue, in a sense that, you know, also follow what your body can and be kind when it cannot do the things, okay? I've also got a bit of a mat that's slightly more slippery than a regular mat. So the first pose that we have is an advanced puppy pose. So making sure that the hips and the knees are aligned. We're not opening the knees too much. We're keeping them nice and parallel. And we want to come into, same as your activation on the fingertips, and we slowly take ourselves down. So that's version number one, and trying to drop the chest on the ground. So with the nice and long neck, shoulders, and popping down. Okay, so this is your first version. There is another version that's a little bit more advanced. I'm going to attempt to demonstrate it. I won't be able to talk at the same time at all, but this is where you elevate yourself on your tucking the toes and you lift your knees off the ground. So it looks like this. I'm going to take my microphone off, sorry. So like I said, this is quite challenging for me. As you can see, I did slide a little bit on my mat, yeah, which is fine. But the aim is to try and keep toes and hands in the same distance as when you do a puppy, and the glutes and the bum, and therefore your spine takes a deeper back bend. So as you have seen, I'm not warmed up and I haven't really trained and I'm traveling. So this is very challenging for me. So that's why I'm saying, please be careful when you attempt to do this kind of movements. All right, but the principle is the same, shoulders down, pressing into the ground. You can also try it with the hands down, but remember what I was saying, when your hands are flat, we tend to kind of let go of the shoulders. The advantage of pushing through the fingertips is we keep this nice shoulder engagement, so we support the back a little bit more, and we support the shoulders. We try and like keep also the neck quite long. Your second move is going to be your beginner chest stand. So when you've done the activation and we went down this lovely advanced spinal wave, remember when we went into plank and then we lowered down, this is kind of a chest stand. So again, I'm going to demo the pose. I'm going to try show first and then describe. So your beginner chest stand. Okay, so I'd say 3 to 4 different variations of this exercise. So let's talk it through first. The first variation was just a chest stand. The second variation was kicking one leg after the other over and try and bring the heel towards the head. The other version was also the third version was to extend the leg towards the ceiling and create this sort of nice shape of a sort of split. And the last version, the fourth version, was to do the same as the advanced puppy and shift the bum higher and create a deeper back bend. Teaching points here are the same as I was explaining through the advanced spinal wave, and that's exactly why we create these advanced spinal wave during the activation, is because we want to try and create this full support, almost like you're about to push yourself up into a press up, yeah? So I'm going to try and explain while I take the microphone off. When we're in that position, we want to try and keep those elbows driven towards the hip. We don't want to let the shoulders ride up, and we don't want to let the shoulders ride back too much. We want to create this slight push, almost like you're about to push up. Yes, so almost like we want to lift the chest off the ground. It's quite active as a move, yeah? And then obviously, I don't know if you saw us kind of directing my knees a little bit closer to get my back a little bit more into back bend. And then we started lifting the leg, but do not let go. Keep pushing and tuck. The hands are under the shoulders and they're into this press up position. Push. Yeah? Okay. So there's some people that make the mistake sometimes that end up this way. Yeah? No, it's the hands that do the work. The hands are the one that are doing the work. Okay? Good. So this is your move number 2. It is quite demanding. Move number 3 is your back bend and your wheel. So same principle when you do your back bend and your wheel. Try and not let your elbows and your hands sort of flare out and your shoulders rise. So again, this can be really challenging. It's going to be challenging for me because I struggle to keep a nice shoulder flexion here. Remember, we did the puppy. Shoulder flexion is strong. Yes. But we keep the shoulder blades nice and scooped, so we support the back, we don't compress the lower back, we engage into the core. Right. So, obviously, most of us know what a bridge is like, but I will show it again, and then we're going to go through a few teaching points. If I don't fall off on this mat. Yes, I'm sliding. I am sliding. It's a suede mat, so if it's not damp and if I'm not sweating, it's actually quite slippery, which is okay on the end because I have actually put a bit of water on the end of the mat. Anyway, so teaching point here is when you lift up first, we lifted a glute bridge, we engage into the pelvic floor here, and we pull, yes? Then you want to try and have your hands under the head, the shoulders. I'm going to try and come where it's damp. Okay, under the shoulders. Then that's enough. Then you can also go placing the head on the ground. And finding that push. When you find that push, you can come onto the toes. I quite like it because you can open up in the shoulders a little bit more. The aim here is to build resilience and stamina and find that breath when you're performing the movement. Also try not round the back straight away. Try and stay into an open position here. It's quite an intense pose, and if you're like me, been traveling and haven't practiced your usual training, maybe going back to intermediate or beginner options might be the safest bet, yeah? I wouldn't be doing that myself, as you can see. That's not the sort of thing I would do if I haven't practiced consistently through the beginners and the intermediate versions beforehand, okay? Good, and the last one is a very easy move to finish off, but I really like it. It's kind of easy, not like super easy, but it is kind of easy. So, I'm using an elastic band. You can use a yoga strap. I didn't bring my yoga strap with me, but you can kind of like tie your yoga strap around the ankle. Here, I'm just gonna go with the band, and I'm going to twist it round once to create a sort of a loop that holds into the ankle. I'm gonna take a low lunge. Okay, and we're gonna try and like take it. So there is also several versions here. Again, always try and not dump too much on the low back. Keep lifting up. You can just focus on the shoulders for now. I quite like having a stretchy band as well for that. You can also take a back bend, extending the arms or keeping the elbows. Okay, so we try and work through low lunge back bends where we climb, we keep climbing, we try and extend, try and lift that chest, yeah, so create a nice C shape. We try and not overly push into the lower back, yeah. So for me, this is like, I love it, but it's also one of the most challenging posture I find. If I show you with my other leg, I've got a tiny bit more leeway from that side. So you wrap around. You can start with just one hand as well, you know, just find what works for you. And breathe. Remember, you need to be able to breathe. And hold, yeah? So same shoulder flexion we're talking about. We're keeping the elbows parallel. And what I like about the band is that once you stretch the band, your arms out, the band kind of try and pulls you down with the shoulders. So I do enjoy that kind of challenge, but it's also nice to just hold and then keep on climbing down. It's up to you to choose what works for you. This is quite nice. And there is another one. What did we do as well? Yeah, no, that's the one. I think that's the variation that I'm offering right now. That's already advanced enough, then we will move on eventually. If you carry on with the program, we'll move on to like more advanced poses again. So yes, enjoy. I hope it all goes well, and make sure that you tell me, and if you need any help, just message me and I will try and help you. Yes, have a good day.